By the way, I did try to get some rubber bands from CVS, and I ended up not. They are actually out of rubber bands, so I do have tissues, but I do not have rubber bands or tape. Basically, anything used as a pop filter. That's a slight shame. Just a slight shame. Anyway, we're gonna be playing Wizardry 7 today again. We're gonna be playing it in this way, which will make it so that we take a long time. But really, we're just gonna be doing it until we get nuke spell with uh Nika, which shouldn't be too long. Next level for Nika should be allowed to next spell with Nika should also just Nika. Next spell with Nika should allow us to make a nuke and kill everyone. That thing's solve all those problems, I think. Hopefully. We don't solve our problems. That was promised. That was a problem. Like I'd have to be anyway. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, buddy? Oh, what are you resting for? I don't know. That's the problem. Also, it's the way for the anyway, click the level up. Next first though, battles and stuff. Obviously. Yo, yeah, what's up? Yo. Got a story idea you want to discuss? Got done that something you want to talk about? I'm all willing to talk. Nothing else to do. I am tired, as can be seen by absolute dumb art. Stop falling asleep on my butt. That's obviously what I'm doing. I'm falling asleep on my butt. Oh, can you explain how dumb I am? Second time so far, second time. This shouldn't be a common thing, but it's becoming a common thing. You give me that disimproving parent stare now, I wish. My goodness, they're actually oh, that could kill everyone. That killed Nika. Great. Oh, it also killed me. Yay. When do I hate the game? Oh, I hate it when everything goes wrong. Anyway, it's time to commit suicide again. Also, do not realizing. Get up, Trevor. Run! Oh wait, no, it's not running. Suicide. What luck do you have? Oh, you luck where I could probably be on the floor and still die from poison. I haven't had any poison. Oh, hi, Mr. Get out of my way. I missed her. Get out of my way. About making a story? Oh, I just feel like, yo, if you have any ideas for stories or anything you want to discuss, I'm willing to discuss that. Well, as it turns out, what I got to do is dying. Apparently, I have a lot of dying to do. Stuff. Oh, Middle Pike can the music. Oh, that's interesting. How do I sound now? Do I sound better? I sound better than I sound in this day and age? Do I sound like a human being? Do I not sound like an insane man who's dying of lung cancer? Sorry, I'm a bit tired. It's just. So I'm talking a bit unreasonably. You have your volume on low at the moment, so that might be messing with it. You sound a bit clearer now. Ooh, cool. That's nice to hear. You think the isekai genre is like I haven't seen many. I can't quite recall. Like honestly, I think I haven't seen a lot of trash isekai manga for like a while now. I've seen trash manhwa though. Like it's actually kind of surprising. Like a lot of the like you find, like I've because I browse manga decks on occasion because I'm a person who wants to read good stuff, and like the manga don't get updated very often, sadly. And the manhwa that are up are a lot of them aren't very good. There's a lot of them that are just kind of like, oh, okay, you're born, I guess. Got it. Or are just like what you would think of a trash isekai or what have you. But it's an oddity. I do wish that there were better ones out there. There's like very much like remember like there being a cup like I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like there aren't many good ones, and even the ones I like aren't updated very often, which is always upsetting. Like I've been reading. Alright, I caught up. The Skeleton Knight failed to protect the dungeon. Isn't bad, but it's got a problem of how do I put this? It's kind of weird. It's got a problem of not power. It's power creep in the wrong in the weird direction of just like the main character never is strong enough. They're strong enough to take down mooks after a while, which is like okay, sure. But there's always a feeling that just like I don't know how to put it. It just feels like oh, suddenly they can't win against this one because this person's even stronger than everything else, and it feels like there's so many obstacles that come up because it's on that one's on the isekai. That one's a time loop one where a skeleton gains sentience and time travel, and every time that he dies, he time travels back to a specific point. Sometimes that point is farther back than others. It seems like when he completes like a quest line more or less and gets someone he knows into a certain position of power, which will be kept in the next timeline. He resets and he gets like power. Like there's a good amount of intrigue there, which is keeping me up. But like, there's just some occasions where just is just like, oh, hello, you overpowered people. Wow, you're so fun to see him just get wrecked again. Of course he is. getting wrecked because it's like not allowed to be strong against anything but the mooks. Named characters are far too strong against him. It's just like, wow, okay. Like, I remember a specific thing where, like, a character who was shown to be, like, stupidly powerful enough to, like, take down final bosses on their own with ease, end up getting killed by some random assassins. And it just kind of came out as, and, like, he hasn't been brought up again for a long while now. I'm just kind of look at that. I'm just like, wow, okay, so he's what, weak as shite, apparently? Like, what? In comparison to everything else? But, what? Like, that was my kind of reaction. It wasn't scary, like I imagined the author meant it to be. It was just kind of like a thing would just made me go, ugh. I feel like it gets on the, it's a bit too strong with the, like, it too strongly goes for the idea that the protagonist has to be an underdog in these scenarios. And it's just, it makes, if it wasn't for the mystery of, like, why is this skeleton able to do this stuff? Why is this skeleton as strong as he can? Why is he as strong as he can be? What is this thing going on in his head? What's this stuff? And all these other questions that introduce me, I probably wouldn't care. Because God, shut up, phone! Probably wouldn't care because just be like, oh, he'll win one day, but like, oh, we'll never get his satisfying victory until then because not allowed to be strong. That's just like an overall feeling I get. Gotta stop. And the battle in the middle of the sleepy time. But right though. Garter. Okay. He should be able to take it easily. But yeah, now I'm just kind of talking about things because, like, yeah, why not talk about things? So I'm talking about this because it's something that bothers me because I want good things to read. I want to read good things, but it's just like, oh, so much stuff isn't good. A lot of it's actually kind of dull and terrible. Oh yeah, I should like find an example of when I was in, you know. Or they're one actually. There another problem I noticed with some of the manhwa. They last too long on certain times. Like they just some of them are incredibly slow paced, and it's in that way where I'm just like, if this was released all once, it would probably be fine. But it's not released all once; it's released over time, so it's not as good. Like I think there's one called Lady Baby or something like that, and it's interesting enough. It's a lady who was assassinated, getting revived as a child, and we stay on her childhood. And I think even now it's just like, is that the entire point of it? And maybe it is. The title says it, but like she's just like a kid at I think probably around 10 years old right now in there, and it's just so uninteresting for me because it's just like everything happened so slow. It just makes it so annoying to read through. What have you missed? You missed me complaining about manhwa and my problems with some of their pacings in one particular story called Skeleton Soldier Failed to Protect the Dungeon, which I am still reading, but I finished reading up till right now, but like, yeah, I've got problems with it. I could restate them. I think it's the biggest problem I have with it is that they keep introducing new enemy and new foes for the Skeleton Soldier, who, by the way, gets revived upon death to a certain point in time. Sometimes farther back than usual, sometimes sooner, sometimes blah 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 blah. And there's just this feeling of like, oh, he's never going to be strong, or there's always going to be something stronger than him. Like there's always some kind of new big old threat or because I go, because he got higher level, but because it just feels like nothing he does is helping. it's all just kind of like, oh, maybe he was a key, but it'll probably fail. Like, more interesting like that. Like, I want to see him. It's annoying seeing that the same thing of like, oh, he's too powerful. There's nothing we can do. Oh no! And it's just like, Skeleton Soldier, you like keep introducing. There was an enemy for like 50 chapters that was incredibly strong, indefeatable, and he was killed off screen by some assassins that are apparently even stronger than him. And just like, wow, okay. Yeah, you're just introducing these guys, and it just feels like every power-up he's getting is not a power-up. It's more like who as weak as when he started off against anyone that isn't a move. Just like, oh, that's... Oh, God. You can't hear me? You can't hear me? Okay, that's much quieter now. Jesus. Does that sound better? Does that sound better? I just think you increased it by a lot. Can you understand what I'm saying? Do I sound like a mic rabbit going crazy? Anyway, time to rest up again. And then we gotta wait till like so many hours. I don't want another fight. Do I sound loud enough? Is the game too quiet now? I kind of need to know. Hey, are these problems you were not expecting to experience me? Yes. Oh wow, you're a dummy. Oh wow, thank you, me. You're so kind, gentle, and totally deserving of a boot to the head. Your current disposition. But yeah, I could hear what I said. I was complaining about the manhwa because I feel like the protagonist isn't powerful enough for all the effort they've gone through, or all the enemies at least are getting far too strong, or like allowed to be far stronger than him at all times. It's like, oh wow, that's not interesting. Like, there's a good mystery going about like why is this all happening, what's going on, and it's tantalizing again, but. Same time, just otherwise, it's just like, nope, nothing interesting is happening in the slightest. Just everything is stronger than him when it's not a move, and even like he recently got completely nuked in the latest chapter, and I kind of just looked at it and I was like, why? I don't get an idea of why these guys are stronger than him. They're just like, they're just stronger. Because, of course. And it gets to that point where I'm just looking at it going like, okay, this skeleton warrior has had like multiple time loops now to grow so strong, and these people that he's facing off that are stronger than him lived one life. Okay? Okay, you understand that? Okay? Why are they so strong then? Why is it that like nothing, like I guess actually that's saying out loud, that's a big core problem there. It's just like, why is the skeleton, the protagonist, who has gone through multiple time loops and is currently like, I think around level 200 or like 300-ish, so weak? And like his level gets reset back to 1 each time he dies, or whatever he used to be. But like when he gets reset, he still keeps his stats from the previous life. And that just makes me go like, well, why is he dying? He's gotten ripped. He's gotten ripped though. He has now not buff bones, but like he's got magic bones. He got ripped. His bones do not confine this man or the Scully man. He literally has tougher bones than ever. That's where I'm just like, baffled. Why? Why are... Why is it done like this? Why is he portrayed in such a weak manner? Why is it that these guys are stronger? There's no good reason for them to be stronger. They didn't, like... Maybe they trained more, but it more seems like the author just is like, well, they're stronger because they need to be stronger, and that's the feeling I'm getting, and it just is so annoying, because, like, otherwise I'd love it. And he doesn't need conductive... Actually, I think in an early chapter, it actually mentions that, like, there is some kind of slightly magical, slightly, there is connective tissue, but it's held up by magic, so... Not sure how to technicality that. But yes, you're now listening to a person complain about the storytelling techniques in the manga they're reading, because of course you are. But yeah, it's just that kind of thing where I didn't realize it until now, but that's my main problem. There's no understandable in-story reason why the enemies are, like, the foes that he's facing are able to get so strong when they don't have the exceptional circumstances that he does. It kind of hits that point where it's like, okay, he's killed thousands of people. And he's not as... and he's not as strong as these guys. And it's like, oh, well, they had their entire lives, and this guy's gotten things done, like, weeks. He's had, like... He's been in timelines for, like, years occasionally. So, like, oh. This is why you don't introduce video game mechanics into your fiction writing. I mean, I think it's fine to introduce video game mechanics to your fiction. The obvious problem is you have to do it well. You have to be able to explain why things are the way they are. And the problem with the manga is that it doesn't. It doesn't explain why the enemies are so strong, so unbelievably powerful. It's just like they are. And that's annoying, because, like, you don't give a reason. You don't have anything. And earlier, they only said anything that works and isn't cringe is the Naziverse. I would say that's also partially because in the Naziverse, they are meaningless for the most part. What matters, the biggest thing that stats mean is, like, oh, this is the chance of occasionally certain skills will work differently in the universe, but it's not overall that important usually, because it's more of it's a general measure. It's not like having 81 attack and 80 attack, and it's like, oh no, it's more like this person has a high attack, this person has a medium attack. That's all you're given. You're not given any further than that. But yeah, the problem with that manga is just that there is no reason that everyone should be so much more powerful than him. It gives that feeling of, like, disingenuous. Then I have my other problem with manga that I've seen, is that some of them are slow as all hell. And I mean this in the way where it's like, there are some manga which are just like, there's so little happening in the chapter update that it feels like nothing's happening at all, and that sucks in the way of pacing. Now they're not really the servant skills and class skills seem to matter in that they have a tangible effect on what the servant can do and how they behave against. Yeah, I guess so. It's just never something I really consider, because Naziverse doesn't go in the way of, like, oh no, they have A-ranked strength, there's no way we can win. It's more like, oh, they have A-ranked strength. Okay, okay, I need to make sure I keep on the dodge then, and I need to keep my technique, because there's a lot more about techniques and current skills than there are about stats. Like, Heracles, that's up the wazoo, can still be defeated because skills matter so much then. But yeah, the other problem, again, with manga that I've read is pacing super slow so much of the time. It just feels like they're crawling at a snail's pace each chapter. Like, nothing gets done. Like, or there's, God, fight! And that just bothers me. To be fair, the stats in the Naziverse are more of a translation of servant abilities. Just in a way they are. So what you said? Yeah, I guess that's what I said. Oh god dang it, yeah. I'll give you a responsibility and you'll fail. Also, it sounds like your problems with some manhwas is the same you had with Neptunia's story. Uh, could you elaborate, please? If you don't mind? I'm kind of curious what you mean exactly there. Because I'm like curious if you mean insofar as the pacing, because then I'd have an argument for Neptunia and the how it does its pacing, which makes me okay with it in comparison. Which I guess, like if it's pacing wise, and like oh it goes too slowly or nothing happens each chapter. For Neptunia, it feels more like not much. What there's a lot of talking but nothing being said, as there's a lot of doing things but not much really happens. I'm fine with it in Neptunia for the sole reason that Neptunia, when things are like, oh, we have to save the world now, they're like, okay, yep, that's happening, let's get to it, and then everything that happens is to get to that place. There's no lollygagging around. It's like, for example, it's like when you're when you need to get the weapons of light in Neptunia 1, the characters don't go, oh, I'll get the weapon of light, and then they, like, do that, but at the same time, then they, after getting one weapon, they kind of just, like, you then have, like, let's say 12 cutscenes where just, like, oh, you know what, I want to have a picnic now, or, you know what, we need to take a break, this is getting very tiring, or, you know what, we need to train up more. There's nothing like that. It's just, like, maybe one or two in between, and then you get to the next cutscene, which is just cutscenes, which is just like, okay, yep, we got the weapons, okay, come on, we gotta keep going, oh god, we gotta keep going before everything gets killed. And there's a feeling of pacing, and if you don't, like, and that makes me feel like, oh yeah, this is a story. Of, oh yeah, this is annoying. Probably not. You probably don't agree on that initially. But it feels like when things need to happen, things happen. When things can be taken slowly, things are taken slowly. I also have to say that one of the, like, hey, here's a great reason to learn Japanese, just so you can read the goddamn raws and catch up faster, because, Jesus, some of those groups are really slow on getting their, translations out. Now, I'm gonna correct that statement a bit, because it's not translations that I imagine are taking a long time, because the chapters themselves are obviously never very long, they don't usually have very much text in them overall. The problem is the redrawing, I imagine, because you need, if you're translating a manga or a manhwa, you have to redraw so much for the text boxes and stuff, because there's a lot of things to redraw. There's like, oh, they go outside of the text box and they're covering it up. Well, now you have to remove that text and then draw the art behind it. So that way you have like a good look. It looks good. Otherwise, you have horrible stuff. They're just like, oh yeah, that sucks, but that's also that's why it's a harder thing than just translating a game in some cases, because you gotta be artists. You need to at least have an artist do that. Like, I guess replace programmer with artist in that case. But at the same time, I still go, god dang, guys, this takes forever. Holy shite! This makes me sad. While you feel it's not well done, Tuna does feel like things are moving toward a point. Yeah. I've also read a couple of villainous stories, and I have to admit this, and this is a problem a lot of people are pointing out. So many villainous stories just have the reincarnated villainous just go like, oh, you know what? I'm going to die because of this stuff, and then never connects the dots that like, oh, you know what? Villainous dies because everyone treats everyone like shite, and I'm not treating people like shite, so I'm not actually at risk of dying right now. There's almost never a very much a strong political intrigue reason for why they died. Like, oh, they were, yeah, in the story, they were killed all. This character was killed off not because they necessarily because they were the villainous and were going as a heroine, but there's a lot of going behind the scenes that ended up getting them killed. They were like the act, like, you know what would make more sense actually for a villainous story? The villainous is the visual novel of the universe, is the act one boss, more or less. Like, they're built up to be this boss, and then they get taken down because, like, no, as things escalate in the story, they don't become as important, and everything gets more and more worse around them as they, like, stumble on political intrigue and they get killed because of that. And the heroine in the original, like, saves the day after all, and solving a lot of political issues. That'd be kind of interesting. I think, at least. I think a little bit interesting. But I have not found a story like that yet. Sad. Or, well, I have, but no, wait, no, I haven't. Not a reincarnation one. I have found one where the heroine reincarnated, and it looks like I read the TV tropes page for it, and it looks like it's a really good light novel. I don't believe it's translated, but I believe it's called, like, Are Reincarnated, and I choose the villainess or something like that. It's gay, but with the actual gay medieval fantasy, and but actually explores the idea of, like, wait a second, gay in fantasy area, in medieval era, is a big no-no. How does that affect things? What does that do to society? What about everything else? How does all this affect? What is a great change? And it's like, oh, it looks like it's going to be very interesting. It's also slowish, but on the manga side, but you know what, that can be dealt with. That can be dealt with. Oh, we actually got full rest. Hi, Grunty, leave me alone. So we're gonna check that the Queenie is alive, by the way. We need to die. Yep, and Queenie is alive. Yeah, I don't care. I can't put this stuff in. Bring it. Yeah, we're not staying here, by the way. We're just gonna die because we stopped by to make sure you're alive. That's all we did. How much more XP does Nika need? Nika needs to like a 111 111,000 XP. This is not a negligible amount. Sadly, also leave me alone in front after. But yeah, I have a lot of problems with the stories I read most of the time because so often there's some problems with just drag it down a whole lot and more or less just ruin the entire thing for me. Oh, hi, Technics and Keepers. If I can kill you guys, here's the thing. Yeah, there's a, like, I've read enough books and stuff at this point, honestly, to, I wouldn't say like I'm, like, I wouldn't say like I'm a great, I know everything or something like that. It's just, I've noticed enough things that make me just go, no, that's a bad idea, don't do that. So at this point, I just find, I can identify stuff in stories that just make me go, yeah, that's a bad idea, don't do that. Oh, this is a problem with writing right here. Because you start noticing a lot of these same problems coming up in writing. And this is a weird thing to say, honestly, but I'd strongly suggest people read fanfiction. Not necessarily because it's good. Some of it is good, I will say that, but because you find amateur writing in fanfiction, obviously. And it's a good way to get an idea of why you don't of what you don't like, and you can think about like why doesn't that work, and it's a good way of finding an example of something which doesn't work. You don't have to pay for it after all, and you can just go like you can try and identify what doesn't work about the story and what does and why it doesn't. And you can start noticing like the pitfalls that people could fall under, and it's a good. I think it's a decent way of starting the learning more or less. Because like you're gonna have a hard time, to be honest, finding like, oh, here's this really bad published book, and like, oh yeah, you can find that, but then you also realize you're saying like, wait a second, I just paid however much money to read a book that's terrible, and just like, oh, there goes my soul on the floor, lying dead. Paralyzation. Do Suhu, Dojins, and Shite count as fanfics? You assume they do. Yeah. It is fan fiction. It is, even though the medium is Dojin in that case, but they are still fan fiction. They're fiction about the pre-existing property made by fans. So yeah, still fan fiction. In that case, like if you're also going for like, oh, I want to to draw, make a Dojin, then like in that case you can also consider the arts, but it is a bit different, admittedly, because you do have to consider the art telling the story as well, and what that does. I'm happy I can whisper to the mic. It makes me feel happy inside. Not at all crazy. But yeah, it's just like fan fictions are a good like let me give you an example of a really. I whisper in the mic. All right. Hi. Okay, so whispering in the mic does not work apparently because it's whispering in the mic is too quiet. It's not an ASMR mic. I can't just do that. Got it, me. But what I was saying, like there's a fan fiction that I read that I thought was good at first. As I read through though, it exposed so many problems with the author's way of writing things, and also everything else because it's 1,000,000 words long. Big investment thing. It's called Forged Destiny. It's a Ruby fan fiction. It hold on, let me find the synopsis of that sort. So I can read it to you and kind of explain why I'm explaining this, because I think it's an interesting little case study, honestly. I think it's a very interesting case study. Okay, here's a summary from fanfiction.net. John had always dreamed of being a hero, of being someone, but dreams were just that. For in the world of Remnant, the classes you are born with determines your fate. John was born a blacksmith, and thus that was his destiny. But when a strange opportunity allows him to change that, and a simple blacksmith becomes something more within the Beacon Academy for Heroes. Now, the description isn't much here, to be honest. It's kind of just there, not much going on, not much expanded upon. It's a bit lacking. Now, what makes this fanfiction... Now, first problem with this fanfiction is the characters are not the characters. So, I take this as a kind of lesson of in-character work. The characters in this story do not act as the characters should act when you consider how they are in canon. This is still fanfiction, let's remember. So most characters are nothing more than the character's name, appearance from the original work, layered onto a completely new character, more or less. And some characters are so completely underutilized that it just ends up being complete. That sucks. That's great. There are also a like, another big problem is the author very often just forgot a lot of things he wrote, or like he kept up doing things which were very, like, he kept forgetting how his previous work things in the story and was doing contrivances for drama. And I remember at one point too, like, this entire story is a liar revealed story, okay? And after I think like at least 500,000 words into this thing, the liar revealed, the part of the liar revealed done is so predictable yet horribly executed that it ends up killing a... Oh, hold on a second. Sorry about that. But it just... If two doujins have taught you anything, it's that you can interpret a character however you like, as long as you're consistent and do it well. That was also a problem. The characters weren't consistent. So, for example... Also, forgetting what you write is pretty bad. You know what makes it even more offending, though, honestly? And I'm going to say this as a person who likes this guy's writing otherwise, is... A big problem was, he just... Because it's on fanfiction.net, he can go back and rewrite his story. He can do things like that. And he did it once. He did it one time in the entire fanfiction. He went back and changed what was said one time. Now, that's not the ability to change what you've written is something most writers do not get the pleasure of doing. But on fanfiction.net, he could have gone, hey guys, in the chapter itself, like, update, hey guys, I rewrote chapter whatever, to be clean it up and add some more consistency and make it better written overall. He did that once. And that was only because there was such a massive problem. Another problem. He changed the pairings in the story from one to another because his reader, his test reader, beta reader, said like, hey, I like this pairing more than the pairing you're gonna go with. And the guy was like, okay, I'll go with that. And he kept it up for nearly 800 words. Or not 800 words, 800,000 words. He kept up that pairing suggested by the beta reader. And the thing is, he didn't address anyone about it. He didn't tell the audience for the longest time, like, hey, yeah, I abandoned that ship that I was going to do for this fiction that I told everyone I was going to do. And the problem is, the chemistry, like, before I knew that he actually had canceled, the chemistry was working well. Because the guy, John, the main character, got in a relationship with a character who, quite frankly, the relationship was shite. It was based solely on sex, and just like the outcast status. And they didn't have anything in common. And you know what I thought he was going to do? I thought he was going to have it be that they broke up because not all first relationships work out well. And then move on to the other character that he said he was going to. I thought he was going to do that, and that would have been, I think, a bet for doing it, because the story never explicitly portrayed their relationship as good. Wait, he just pounded to one particular reader? Low. He also has his own very strong bias to liking this relationship. If you know anything about Ruby, it doesn't matter, I guess, at this point, but Blake is a character he loves using in a lot of his fanfictions to pairing up with John or having a very complicated relationship with John. And he's got an obvious, very strong bias towards her. He even admits it because he thinks she's interesting to write about. I'm in disagreement there somewhat. I think she's not the most interesting character. That's fine, but he just went off-road there and he didn't tell anyone. He didn't tell his readers. And that created a problem, a major snarl, part way into, I think, I'm not sure, maybe 3/4 of the way through the entire project. Major snarl because he revealed it to his readers. And everyone went ballistic because they're like, well, this relationship you've been building up, we didn't think it was going to be permanent. And it kind of sucked. Can you not do it? And it just is a tragedy because it just did not work out well at all. And because he hadn't spent any time building up the relationship with the original pair he was going to go with, it ended up being this, horrible rushed mess. That sums up a lot of the later chapters. It also has that problem with characters becoming stronger when they shouldn't be. So, like, John is a blacksmith, and that he can get levels up from doing blacksmith work and fighting. But somehow, despite the fact that he has 2 ways of getting XP, and that he's shown to do more work than his allies are somehow able to keep up at the same level as him. Which, obviously, doesn't make a lot of sense. Shouldn't he be higher level? And that's a problem that has to be fixed too, obviously. Another thing was the fact that, oh my god, in some chapters, there is so much, every chapter, except for the final of each book, as it's called, was a goddamn, oh, there's the good, dang it, was a goddamn cliffhanger. And honestly, that got really sick and tired, because it's 1,000,000 words long, every chapter ends on a cliffhanger, except a couple. Just think about that for a second and realize how annoying that is. There's no ending on, like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then, or like, there's no ending on, like, okay, we rushed off over there and now we're gonna do this. It just is that feel. It's just feeling of like, oh, okay, yeah. There's no there's rarely satisfaction at the end of every chapter because of that, and that's a big problem, because like in something that's uploaded weekly, you want your readers to find some satisfaction in what you're reading. That's literally JoJo or Classic Who. Yes, and that isn't exactly good either. Let's be honest here. The only reason for a lot of that it's fine now is because they're completed. Now, okay. But while the thing is in development, cliffhangers are dumb. Most of them are feel very unnatural. But the biggest problem is actually this. Most of them in Forged Destiny feel extremely unnatural. Okay, what am I wrong about? Which one? You know what I meant. I've like, even for JoJo now, I hear that complaint. I've seen that complaint thrown. No, part 8 is not done. I've seen that complaint thrown, but like, people are like, it goes slowly and it can be very frustrating. I've seen that be done, and I'm not saying that isn't done. I'm saying for like parts 1 to 7 right now, reading them, it's just like, you can read them straight up. There's no delay between chapters unless you wish to delay it for yourself. And again, what I'm trying to get out for Destiny is the cliffhangers almost always felt very unnatural. Like for example, I think there's a chapter where suddenly the bomb goes, there's an explosion in the keep we were defending. What? End of chapter. And it's just like, okay, I wonder what happened. That's the only question you can have. And then you go to the next chapter, just like, oh, these guys are, this guy's controlling people and he's going to kill everyone. By the way, that took the entire chapter to learn, and now the chapter's at the end. Now they're going to confront him, maybe. Oh, but wait, what's this? There's a new person who's just entered the room and killed the man. Oh my god, who is this person? End chapter. It hurts more since JoJo changed to monthly format after part 6. Yep, that's a... I think that's a problem, honestly, insofar as I would never want to do something like that to my readers. Because, like, oh god, pain and suffering. It's like, that's ow, my entire being burdened. But yeah, the unnatural cutoff really did nothing good for the story most of the time towards Destiny. And it just felt like there was always supposed to be something more surprising than last time, because that's how it works. Do you think the Index anime does that too? The anime itself ends on a cliffhanger every time? But more out of necessity than anything else. Yeah, that can be fine. It's fine to do sudden cliffhangers. It's just when you do it so often that you can predict it's going to happen at the end of every chapter, and it's a surprise when there isn't a cliffhanger at the end of a chapter, that you just have to kind of go take a step back and go, what the heck? You just gotta take a step back and kind of realize how insane it is when... Oh, dang it. I think it died. Ah! You have to take a step back when you realize that, like, it's a surprise to the reader when you don't end the chapter on a cliffhanger. Just like, is that really good storytelling to do it like that when they're surprised when I'm not still dragging them along? Because it's still in the middle of an arc. Yeah, that's understandable. That's a part where it would be understandable. It's just like, oh, it's cut off. Why is that? Oh, it's because we're in the middle, because things are still happening. And, like, that's fine. But there's sometimes where it's just like, oh no, character runs away at end of chapter. Oh no, character is revealed to be related to this character. Oh, character killed this character. Oh, and each of those O's is the end of the chapter. And that just bothers me so much. You can tell I used to read the story a lot, and then I hated it. I still like a lot of the author's other works, but God, Forged Destiny is just his worst. It's also his longest, but it's his worst. And you want to know what's funny, too? The guy does political intrigue quite decently. And in a very enjoyable way, somehow. But he thinks political intrigue gets boring for the reader. But, like, it's funny, too, because there's another story he wrote, which is White Sheep, which, aside from one part of a romance arc, which he admits everything went wrong in that arc because he wasn't expecting... Because, like, he and his beta reader got miscommunicated badly, which meant that arc ended up being horribly done, and he admits it, and everyone acknowledges it. But aside from that, it's a very nice comedy story with some good, okay, I love the story. I'm gonna now praise another one of a different story of his, because I actually enjoy this one a lot. White Sheep takes the idea of, okay, this character instead was born to the main villain as their kid, and then it goes, and he wants to have world peace between the main villain's faction of horrible monsters, which aren't as horrible because timeline differences somewhat, and the main faction who are obviously very skeptical of this race that has killed them for thousands of years unopposed. It's like, oh, this is interesting, and then it goes into. It actually goes in depth into, like, okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to actually fix this? Because every character basically confronts him with it, and it's like, okay, you're saying you're going to fix everything, but that's unrealistic. What are you going to do? And then he actually has to come up with a plan. He actually has to talk to people. He has to actually make allies. He actually has to do political intrigue, because world peace is hard. And I love it, because I love that part. But that's the part that the writer that the author thought like, oh yeah, I'm really worried people are gonna be very bored with it. And it's just like, what? This is very interesting, and it's like I'd actually. So sadly you aren't into Ruby, so this doesn't quite work. But if you were, I would recommend reading White Sheep. It is fantastic in many aspects. There is just that romance arc in the middle, which is horribly done, and I don't like, and no one likes, and everyone hates. But otherwise, it is a brilliant in my eyes, just for the fact that it asks the question and it has consequences that occur for everything that happens. There is one standout moment that I think it's fine in something like JoJo, solely because the page count runs out while Araki is still in the middle of the thing happening. Like, yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of obvious in those cases, and I would never really put that against the guy. Also, I do want, I would like to hear, had to be BRB, so again to send that earlier. Dang, so I was just, I hate that because they're the only one here, so I can't do that. But I was just going on about White Sheep, another work from the same author as Forged Destiny, and how I think it's much better. Yeah, and I'll mention this again. It goes into a little intrigue towards the end, because the main character wants to make world peace between two warring factions that he's on the evil side of, and the evil side has gotten less evil in the couple years because she got kids and she's known love again, and she's actually living a happier life. And then it gets to this political thriller kind of part where it's just like, okay, how do we fix everything? And it's so interesting. And I think this kind of reveals I think this shows a really sad thing about the author's beliefs, because he was worried that was going to be the most boring part. He thought this political intrigue part was going to be like, no, I'm worried people aren't going to like it. Ugh. Because at the end of the those arcs, he doesn't do a cliffhanger, or rather he might, but it's less will they make it out, and more like, what's the significance for this? The significance of this. Well, yeah, I like that a bit more. Just like, okay, what does it mean that... It's better when you have a question of, what does it mean that this is happening now, or what does it mean that this has been revealed, rather than, oh, okay, guess this will be followed up next chapter. Because, like, a bomb going off, what does that mean? It means people could be dead. And it means the structure's gone, okay. But what does it actually mean otherwise? Because you don't know who set off the bomb, what might have set off the bomb, or if the bomb was always there or not. It's just like, there's no deeper questions to ask yourself. Or ask the, piece. Like, I wish I could not go and die from everything that hems up from the right. Oh, but yeah, I feel like I'm not great critic, but I've read enough things at this point where I feel confident in saying, yep, that's bad. When I see something, I don't see something written in a way I think is badly done. Like, I don't feel I can usually explain why it isn't good. Most of the time, I can explain like what I don't like about it and so on and so forth, which makes me, admittedly, it makes me have a higher quality now than I used to, and it does mean that I'm often just like not able to find things I like reading anymore. Why part of the reason I turned to fan fiction, because I couldn't kind of guarantee that, like, oh, I'm gonna read this book and I'm gonna like the book, and that was a lot of money wasted. So it just was like, oh, sad fate. But yeah, like that. I like to think my standards aren't absurdly high. Honestly, it would take a while to, like, put them in a list. Like, what's my standards? I want things to be consistent. I want characters. Well, I guess I can conclude. I want characters, world settings to be consistent. I want logical conclusions from the things that occur. I can't really put it into many other words, because it's like, what do you want from the word? I want it to make sense. I want the, I guess let's go and talk about Genshin no Kyojin and its story. You could become internet reviewer number 23532453324532431. Yeah, maybe I'll hit it all big. Like Genshin no Kyojin's story, for example, I don't think it's bad. It is not. It is mediocre. There are some very strong character moments, but for the most part, the story is inoffensive enough. It doesn't have any very amazing moments, but it does have a couple of bad moments. It does have some things that make me question, like, why is it written this way? Like sudden development, like the development between Ran and Miko's development, where Ran is supposed to be like this. From what you can tell, it's nothing special. Yeah, get monetized and make that money back in sweet ad rev. Ooh yeah, that 1 cent per year. But I'm like, Miko, for example, this is a rushed character development, or underdeveloped rather, is Miko and Ran's relationship. Ran is supposed to be very hesitant about humans, like very much supposed to be kind of scared and hateful of someone. I'm able to pick up on that subtext, okay? But the problem is, it's not meant to be subtext. I'm quite sure it's meant to be written as just plain old text in the story. And I'm not doing anything again, because I'm now talking and thinking about stuff. And that leads to this odd situation where it just is this, it's just like, oh, Why are what? Oh, so they're getting along now. Like they're very good friends. Wait, why are they very good friends? I look back at the story. Oh, she was supposed to be like really hesitant about her and really kind of like oh, I don't trust this human. Like why? Like this is barely mentioned at all. What the flip? This isn't like a mistranslation thing. This is just barely mentioned. Get it? Like that was my reaction to that story that plot point because it just didn't make a lot of sense. It was just there for some reason. And it's like it could be good, but it wasn't developed enough, and that's something I would like take off from it as a little mark of nope, that ain't good. It doesn't hurt the story because there's nothing contradictory about it. There's nothing about it that doesn't fit in with the world's logic. It's just underdeveloped and underdeveloped. It isn't given the time that you would expect from it. I do love talking about this kind of stuff. But yeah, Genshin no Kyojin is just like an average story because it doesn't do anything exceptional most of the time. It's just sometimes it's emotional, but I would put that more on my own personal investment in the pre-existing characters. I would say this though about like Aya Hayade is actually is an OC that I feel very invested in because I think they wrote her very well. I think she's very interesting. She's got very clearly defined problems. She's got a gradual arc, trusting the yokai more and things like that. And it works well. I think it works very well. I think her conversations with Komachi and Komachi are exemplary because they are written in a way which is a very unique connection, a very unique perspective. You don't see her very often in stories, and it just makes how she acts more interesting. She's a person who's been revived over time. What's that like? And then it explores that idea from one possible perspective, and I enjoy that. I think it's well done. I think it's not played too much like a joke or anything, or it's taken like far too seriously. It's taken just right. I think. Hey, more for. But yeah, I discuss this stuff because it's just I feel like it's more or less just basic writing ideas somewhat. You're just supposed to. How do I put it? You learn to be a writer by either criticism or your own criticism. You learn. I think you kind of learn to be a writer via criticism of either your own criticism for others' work or criticism from coming at your own work. Because there is a lot to learn about a book by criticizing them, and books and stories and so on and so forth by criticizing them. Because you learn just, hey, what makes this story good? What makes this story bad? And you learn by example of. Usually you learn by example of what is not good, and then you determine and then you learn as a byproduct kind of like, oh, I like this. And that I'm not very good at explaining things about things. Sorry. Yeah, I just want to I want to talk more about these kind of things because my friends do not care for in-depth analysis most of the time. They don't. They think it's. They think it takes away from the fun of the work, and it just is like, oh, I think it makes it so much. But why don't you want to discuss the thing you like? Why don't you want to talk more about it? Why do you want, like, I brought this up before, but if discussing something you like makes you dislike it, then then it's not a good work most likely, or it isn't one that you really like. You just liked it at the time because you didn't think about it, and like. Think about things that you talk about or you don't just like things and then never how do you even call something liking it if you never think about it again? Oh man, I really like Harry Potter, but you've never mentioned this before. Oh yeah, I read it once. You thought about it since then? Nah. It's like, you really like Harry Potter then? You kind of just read it once, never thought about it again, and we're just like, yeah, it's good. Like that, you're not giving any examination to it. You're not thinking about what you liked about it. It was odd to me. Because you could be like, oh, yo, I never thought of it that way before. That's understandable. I guess what I'm getting at more so is like, is like the times where just like they never point out, they don't want to hear, giving example like TV show writing per episode, and it's just like you go back, you want to talk about a specific episode and what happened then, and it just was like, no, I don't want to talk about the episode. What did you think about this happening? And it's like, no, I don't want to talk about that. No, that makes sense. It's fine. And it's just like, you haven't really thought about this, have you? You just thought about the overall. You just liked how it made you feel at first, and then you never thought about it again. That just bothers me. Just like, come on. You have a brain. Use it. Use it to think about what you like. And like, if you don't, I can't say that they didn't like it, but it just is a thing of like, yeah, you're right. In-depth analysis ought to be enjoyable if you actually enjoy the thing. It's just so odd. You could be just like that. Yeah, that one was bad. The problem is with people I've come across, particularly my friends, again, it isn't just that. It's like, no, it's fine. And there are times where I'm just like, what? But what about this happening and this happening? And it's just like, no, it's fine. See, maybe they'll explain it later. That's my most annoying observation I've heard. Is like, maybe they'll explain this thing later. That is so annoying. Because it is an excuse. It is like an excuse to never to think about it, to delay thinking about this thing as long as possible. Like, maybe there'll be an answer for why this happened. Is anything happening? Oh no, sorry, I got completely distracted because I was thinking. I was just talking that entire time into my mic. I was just like going at it. I was just like, yes, and oh my god. sorry. Got far too into that conversation. But yeah, that's how I kind of think about these things, because it's not good in my mind to just leave these things in. Yeah, like I've had someone argue to me once before that like, what's wrong with people not thinking about things? And like that's saying about things they like, or rather. And I heard that statement, just like, but what's wrong with thinking about things they like? And like, oh, but they ask you a question, it's like, it's kind of hard to put into words because it's such a fundamental thing. What's wrong with not thinking about things you like? It's that you may not have liked it then. Personally, and this is something you like to do your own work, you like it when things are left intentionally ambiguous or unanswered, especially make it more fun for people that like to think about the implication of those things. That's fine. But then there are times like, let's say a character has a gun. Okay? Character is in a situation where they don't know it, but they don't know that they'll end up surviving because, like, oh, their friend comes along and they save them. But they don't use the gun to save themselves. There is no given reason why they didn't use the gun to save themselves, but they didn't. That isn't something to think about afterwards and be like, wow, I wonder what the tells of the character stuff. That's more often, like, in the simplest of situations, that's a case of, no one thought about this, did they? That's a plot hole, because there's no reason for the character not to use the gun, yet they didn't. And when you think about it afterwards, it just means it worsens what you watched. Because it makes you realize, or it doesn't worsen what you watched, it was always like that. You just never noticed until then. Also, hi, Mr. Could attack me with 20 people. Lovely. It's fine to leave unanswered questions and things to ponder upon, but it's not fine if those things to ponder upon have a clear answer within 5 milliseconds of thinking about it. God dang it. Like, I don't know. It's a very, it's a bit odd, but I don't think, I think about things I enjoyed, and I think about what made me enjoy them. Like, I hadn't thought about Fallout 4 in a long time, admittedly, but recently one of my friends had started playing it, and I kind of getting a reminder of, like, did I actually like this game? And I'm thinking about it, it's like, huh, I kind of did like it. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but, and there are problems I can easily identify with it, but there's a lot about the leveling system, things like that, and the, building of settlements and stuff that I immensely enjoyed, honestly. And I think about it like that, I'm just like, I should give it another shot, actually. Assume you just left your hand because you talked a while, and that's probably best Sorry, man. Oh, Coot's here. Okay. I'm gonna be back in a little bit. Sorry.
Lost within a dream, can I float anywhere? Or am I just spectating a scene? Is this the tranquility I fought so hard to find? Or has the end been found inside of me? I've seen the length, the depth and size, the ocean's flow while deep and wide, a blackened canvas to an empty sky. Against infinity, I'm blasting to an end. Throughout the void, I'm damned to see it all
Low.
glow while deep and wide, like a
Yes,
canvas
yes.
to an empty sky. Against infinity, unlasting
Good,
to
it doesn't pick up me eating food. The one thing.
throughout the void, I'm damned to see it all.
Also, since nothing was said by clip, I'm guessing it's here right now. So save it.
Leaving a universe, the purest sky and sea. Against infinity, I'm blasting to an end. Throughout the void, I'm damned to see it all again. Tears of the life I've lost burst torrents out of me, leaving a universe, the purest sky and sea.
Mm. Hey, Eclipse, are you there? There you go. Okay, I can run. There you go. There you go.
Come on. You cannot
Hmm.
is breaking easily. When I thought there's nothing more, you came around. I'm getting weak again. I just wanna go, 'cause I gotta see your face. Even if it rains, I just wanna go. Now I'm gone in your wake.
Well, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. Oh God, it came out. That gave me. I gave me. That was my headphones coming out for a second there.
When I look into your eyes, I know I'm born to be with you. Sometimes I'm afraid, 'cause all the sadness, 'cause all the pain awaits.
Bien. Oh, I'm just. Too much experience from your Oh wow, that's a lot of anger though. You know what? I'm getting a drink. Cool. Getting a drink. Back soonish. Okay, I'm back. Oh, Baringa. Let's kill the last Baringa Dogarder. Before Nika levels up again. How much you're wondering? He's around 7,000 now. No, 66,000. Oh boy, that was so much. Oh, hold up. Oh, got into another fight. Oh, it's more garters. I'm just gonna call them gardeners. More gardeners about. Oh no, what are we ever? Me? Oh, really? The returns are real. Don't break. We're gonna more flatter magic. Oh no, it's more enemy. Let's kill the bull. What, isn't that the normal response to seeing a bunch of guys come up to you in bug suits and going to kill them? Yeah, that's totally. Oh god, if only it wasn't so expensive. Is my impression? No. If only it didn't cost so much, we'd be bloody Mika to the next level so Mika can just sleep. Excuse me again. I'm quite sure during the next level, Mika is going to be allowed. Finally, becoming gold. Oh. That's gonna be level 12, by the way. There we go. Okay. More monsters with them. Yay. We got polearm. Please continue resting, Nico. We want you to be at max magic. Anyway, that was what, a decent? Yeah, 60. We just need 60 hours of XP now. Then we'll get level up. And we'll do very excited. Oh, why are you like the why don't you just skip it? Wizardry. Hey, we got full rest off. That's awesome. Oh yay, we ran into a decent group to fight. Yay, they're strong. Ah! Xenobites help by countering something. Nika help by murdering everything that breathes. There's no joke. Oh, shite. Are you kidding me? 6 is 90? Level 6 is 90? God, Nika's not actually gonna get... Unless Nika gets 11 goddamn points. Nika is gonna be able to use nuke. God! I mean, grinding Nika up to the level 13. Oh no! I hate my last guys like. I don't think that was gonna be like 91 like before, but no, it's 98 now. God dang it. It's gonna prove to be a problematic move, because you gotta do a lot of work here now to make sure that goddamn you're gonna have to do a lot more work than I was expecting when you get to level 13. That way you can know everything. Unless we get lucky somehow and he gets like 11 points, in which case, woohoo, we beat them all. But I just get the kind of feeling that that's not gonna happen. Ooh. Who is lying? Who is the sadness? I'm okay. Hmm. Sorry, doing research into the other spells right now because I'm wondering how the heck a duck I'm supposed to do this. Onika woke up. Cool. He get burned. Link thing? No, no, no. That's a decent amount of XP at least. That should work. There's also no way that will work. We got stupid problems. Oh, we actually did it. Cool. Don't need 46,000. Check in on Queenie and make sure she isn't shit. Hi, you horrible monster. Hajan, the giant unleashes the other and organizes the bargain. That was saying his eggs just now, I just noticed. But it's the queen. An oddity, to be sure. We shall now die glorious, painful death. Oh look, 66 damage. Lovely. Occasionally. Oh look, they were dealing too much damage. You just got lucky. That's why all this is going on, and you're getting screwed over. Screw you! I didn't get lucky. These enemies are insanely powerful for any stage of the game. Level 14. Ugh. Hi, Mr. Useless. Whoa, whoa, if it isn't the Neps. No, everything's destroyed. Whoa, whoa, if it isn't the Neps. Oh, yeah, God, go away. Relatively easy guys this time. Murder them all. One more of the boogmen will help us grow strong. God, Tito Bite does damage. What? No, no pasa por ahí. Yeah, this last half an hour is implied because no one talked to us. I don't understand what's going through. 39, 39,000. So much still. So much before we're finally done with it. Or not finally done, but the defense won't be done, and I'll have to grind another entire level for Nika. Because otherwise, it's gonna be in the pain zone when we try and go and beat the giants. I feel happy that when I Google, maybe this is because of my subscription, but I'm happy when I Google flipping Wizardry 17 bug fight, I get my video. That's nice. Probably not right, but that's nice. Ooh, more terrain guard. Hi, Nika. Start blasting away, Nika.
Many would try to tell me it's better to be quiet and not believe, but I can't dodge a vision I had so many years back that told me I was destined to share with you the joys of love and freedom. Join me, I can make it easy. Rid yourself of that divine with a loud running.
Okay, let's be done.
I can't wait to see you running to
So you guys are gonna provide me a loot season now that you're all dead. Ow. Honey Basher is doing decently well, at least. Oh, Kyo's awake. Murder. Hey, Kyo, help us murder. Oh, why is there using so much AoE? Come on, just be a good sport and be good about everything. Yeah, you wanna know why I'm using so much AoE? It's because the goddamn game doesn't understand what it means not to throw out 30 enemies at you. What are you supposed to do? Go one-on-one with each? They've got, some of them have magic, which are so strong that unless you're pre-nerf Chung, you get wrecked. God, I hope we can get Chung into that strength again one day. It was so good. Oh, look, 2 left. Please tell me they give a good amount of XP. Let's see. How much did they give us? Not even about 10,000. That's a bit disappointing. Excuse me. Oh no, more bugs, and there's a few wisers in the group now. You have a sudden urge to disintegrate them, Nika. Is that so? Go do it. No, one of them cast death! Why do they have access to death? Instant death! That's so annoying! I just noticed, does everyone have 0% chance of resisting death? Yes, everyone has 0% chance of resisting death. Wow, that's fair. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everyone commits suicide in return for this egregious stupidity that is this game when it decides what to give enemies. Of course you give the enemies the instant death spell. Of course you do. Of course! Because why wouldn't you give enemies death? Not like that's at all overpowered. No! Now we fight so many gardeners. So many gardeners. We're fighting so many gardeners. Rah! I'm a strong thing, Xenobites. I don't care right now. Make it strong, make it large, make it kill them all. I want to get to level with 12 with Nika before the end of the stream, for God's sake. Come on. I'm just holding my breath because I really want to get this done again. Yay, there's 5 left. I'm happier. Not very happy, but I'm a bit happy. Oh, yay, we defeated them all. Woo! Yay, 10,000 XP. Barely 10,000. 10,000 XP. Now we need 19. I mean, just 19,000 XP to get to the next level. Yay! What are you waiting for, Barb? Oh, you know, to get more, get a full rest done. Right. Yep. How many days has it been in this land? Oh, you know, we've been here for half a year. Oh, of course you try to counter. Oh my, I see you're trying to exit the battle. Well then, I guess you'll be fine going home without lunch then. What are you even talking about? Going home without lunch. Anyway, kill the Technics, please. Hi, Xenobites. No, Xenobites. No, I know really well, Xenobites. I know how dumb this is. This. Of course it fizzled. Of course it fizzled. I really hope we get a level up then from this. Oh, what? You want 19,000 experience in one fight? Considering what you're putting me through, yes. That's not unreasonable to ask for. But it is good. This is dumb. Are the Technics all dead? I think they're all dead. Yay. What do you mean you just want more experience and we're just XP bags? Oh my! What is that again? I got no problem. No. Oh, of death. Ooh. Any more enemies that we got flipping Ugh. Oh, how many are left? Are there 3 groups or something? Might as well. Good, finally. How much XP is that? A decent amount. Nice. Okay, that's one more fight then, and we're that should be one more fight, and we'll finally have a level 12. Nika. That'd be really helpful. Really, really, really helpful. How helpful is really helpful? Very. as you can imagine, all these things we've been doing was like a bit much. You know what's annoying too? It's just like the stats that everyone has doesn't seem to matter most of the time. Oh, great! It's more enemies while we're resting. Lovely. I wanted to get this off with my chest without dying. Or without killing a whole lot of people. But I guess, I guess that's just, it ain't possible. Today's day and age, you just gotta murder everyone. Murder your friends, murder your enemies, murder everyone. Oh, great, look, Nika died. Nika died. Nika died. Of course. How much health does Nika have? Nika has 34. Xenobites, who's also should be probably quite weak, 60. There's a thing they knew. Actually, are gonna be because they don't, because they coded in the game. So the mages are like flipping jelly. All you do make jelly mages. All you do. Oh, great. Oh, I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. No. I want to get my magic back. Give me another full rest, please. No. This is slightly better, but still quite horrible. Actually, it's bad enough that I'm just gonna actually try running away. Oh look, Nika died. Wow, how annoying can they be? Oh, you know what? I think I know why we should kill all birds again. Nika is so close to a leveling up. He just goes, no. He hasn't even gotten over 1,000,000 XP. That's how amazing Nika is. You hear me? Nika has been amazing. You're just screwing her over. I hear you, guarding watchers and guarders and wilders. Okay. Or try taking your butts to the creek into Neverland. I hate all of them. Oh look, they cast magic. And they waste our turn. And they're gonna kill. Oh, that's another one we're running away from. Why there? Because I need to rest! Just cancel early! Oh, kill you too, mother. I try. It fails because this game hates me. What did I say, guys? What did I say? Game hates me. Hello, you useless. I want to fight you so badly. You useless man. Get away from me, you disgusting piece of shit. So close to getting a decent amount of things done. But it's only decent, not perfect, as it needs to be. Nika's awake. What the? Did the game just crash? Don't you love pain and suffering? You loaded piece of crime. Get into a fight so I can murderize everything. Hit that level. You're not murder allowed. What? What are you doing? No, I don't need your spear plus. What are you doing? Go away. Oh, look, and we meet again to another encounter with enemies. Yep! I don't want to fight this. I never wanted to do this again. I never wanted to do this grind against enemies that are just like instant death. I hate the enemies which just go, you know what? You're not allowed to exist in this universe. It's just like, why are you allowed to decide that? Who let you decide that? Why do the devs decide that the player needs to be punished for playing the game? Why? It's like if every time you press the button in a goddamn first-person shooter, you ended up blowing off a part of your body. So that's what it feels like. That's just what it feels like. And hurry up! Gosh! Not ending the stream till Nika gets you level. The next level! You did a good You beat a hard fight. You know what you get as a reward? You get pain and suffering and more annoyance. Go away. Is the immense hard arse man who will die if he gets in my way again. You are very close, good sir, to getting your head blown off inside of with your own musket. Get the whumping heads of Dons out of my way before I bleed down your neck with your own head. Yay! Oh wait, it's more enemies who can instant kill. Why can they instant kill, Bob? Oh, because devs are lazy arses sometimes. Who just like throw it on. I don't care. Like they should be able to do it. I mean, it's not like our game can be very poorly balanced ever. We can't make a poorly balanced game. Also, despite having higher speed than every single enemy, you're going to last because initiative rolls are throw at shite most of the time. Better give us another speed. Oh, thank God. No, I don't care about the form. God dang, it took forever to get here. Actually, not enough levels, is it? Of course, we're not allowed to learn Nuke yet. If we could learn Nuke, we wouldn't be alive. We would be fine. I wouldn't have to dedicate another session of this goddamn game to goddamn getting this done. Okay, I'm gonna check out these other spells because is there anything else I can take that's gonna let me just skip this fight? That could work. Probably. Let's do some research using this thing, because I want to know if it's worth getting. The answer is probably no, because my life sucks arse and everything sucks, and I want everything in this world to die again. But, we're gonna look at them and be like, okay, are you actually good or are you shite? Okay, let's see. Let's see what asphyxiation. Is that to target my own allies?
You ready to stake your life on this one? Absolutely. Star is the target in position. Confirmed. Come on, guys. Are we gonna find a
I'm gonna check because I want to know. Wizardry 7. Wait, wait, wait. Okay, you know what? You know what? We're gonna take a slight risk today. God save my soul. I don't know. Take anti-magic. Anti-magic to do again. Only one group though. Nope, go with it. Asphyxiation, it could be helpful. Oh god, that was incredibly annoying. And we're gonna, if this doesn't work, we're gonna have to try next week as well. So yay! Oh Jesus, okay. Oh, that was annoying. That last portion was very annoying. Anyway, thank you for coming to today's live stream. I'm streaming again on Thursday, 7 o'clock. Another Wizardry part. It'll either be another grinding stream if it turns out asphyxiation isn't enough and we're going to have to grind up god dang Nika to level 13 just solely to make Nika able to learn the spell nuke and nuke the literally nuke that bug out of this game. Oh, who knows? Anyway, Clips is going to be streaming tomorrow around 8 o'clock. He's going to be streaming, I'm not sure actually. And he's currently, even though he's in the chat, he's been offline for the past hour, so you know, I don't know. But anyway, thank you for coming for today's live stream. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to jump off a 1-foot bridge because, God, that was so frustrating. Anyway. Last thing is this. Goodbye. Okay, hold on. Hey, I gotta show this. Look at this. What sorcery is this? What? Look at these numbers. I guess the Clips just takes what? I just got that message. Did he type that back then? Did I not get that until now? Why is it now we're like what? What?